Hi friend. Thank you for returning to my channel. God bless you. To receive news updates, please click the bell symbol and subscribe to the channel. Large families bring with them enormous surprises. Furthermore, this past year has been nothing short of spectacular for the Duggars. This well-known family has never been more in the public eye thanks to weddings, births, daring makeovers, and even a few heartbreaks. Every Duggar has a tale to share, from elder sisters becoming mothers to younger ones discovering their own voice. And we're revealing the details of everything today. Prepare yourself for excitement, surprise, and moments that will leave you unsure of what will happen next. Stay with us while we go over each sibling's update. You won't want to miss a single turn in the Duggar story, so don't forget to ring the bell, like, and subscribe. Jana Duggar enters a new season in the dim light of a Nebraska morning, one that is full of change, expectation, and the subdued excitement she has always exuded. In August 2025, only 1 year after her long-awaited wedding to Stephen Wisman, Jana's had a modest but sincere celebration of her first anniversary. Lincoln nightlife. It had everything that fans have come to love about Jana. A warm restaurant meal, a stroll with ice cream under the gentle street lights, and a statement that said simply, "The best year." Real, grounded, and subtle. The surprises didn't end there though. Jana announced a milestone that fans had been anticipating for years just 3 days later. She is expecting a child. She shared on social media, one hand resting softly on her stomach. "We are ecstatic. A tiny bundle of delight entering our family in January 2026. The news came as a long-awaited fantasy to the Duggar audience. After years of supporting her siblings' marriages and births, Jana is now becoming a mother herself. And in typical Jana fashion, she added a little self-care to balance the life transition. She left the salon a few days later with ash blonde hair and a smile that said it all, feeling like a new person. She laughed, demonstrating that parenthood isn't about losing oneself, but rather about developing into something different. The event was made more affectionate by Ginger's fun sisterly jab on Instagram, where she called herself the favorite auntie. All of these highlights take place against the backdrop of Janice and Stephen's Nebraska life. From cabinet hallways to gleaming quartz worktops, her renovation blogs capture a moment when she is still actively creating her home with calm resolve. It's evident to fans who followed her path. This chapter is characterized by the change of love, the serene assurance of a woman embracing motherhood according to her own schedule. 2025 has been a bittersweet year for Jill, an emotional journey that showed how much she has changed through loss, resiliency, and intimate moments. She broke the heartbreaking news that she and Derek had given birth to their stillborn daughter, Isa Marie, in March. Fans were moved to tears by her unvarnished messages, which included the stillbirth certificate, but they were also in awe of her bravery. There was an overwhelming amount of support, demonstrating how sincerely Jill is able to connect with her audience. But she leaned into love despite her pain. Derek proposed more than 10 years ago, and she and he returned to the location a few days later. Fans were reminded by their smiles in those pictures that happiness and thankfulness can coexist even in the face of suffering. They celebrated their 11th anniversary this summer with a romantic retreat to a hot springs, treehouse cottages, laughing, and a reminder that their relationship is still strong. Jill's daily life has also changed. In March, she disclosed that she is currently homeschooling child sons, in a way that seemed really relatable, combining instructional preparations with sloppy to-do lists and lukewarm coffee. Derek left his position as a prosecutor in the interim, and Jill hinted that he was working on personal legal issues. Jill continues to talk openly, even about loss, such as when Derek's grandmother died in August, even if their future seems uncertain. Supporters are aware that they will always get the truth from Jill. Joy and suffering are interwoven in a fabric of fortitude and faith. If Jill's year could be specified, Jess's was marked by resiliency and fresh life, whereas hers was characterized by heartache and recovery. Her announcement that she was expecting her 6th child in March sparked both praise and condemnation. However, Jessa took on the hatred head-on in an open YouTube Q&A. Comments can hurt, she acknowledged, but she refuses to let it define who she is. Instead, in a moment that served as a reminder of Jessa's grace and resilience, She paid tribute to her mother, Michelle, as her role model. Her narrative reached its peak in July, a happy conclusion. She gave birth to a 10-pound son on July 26th. From the emotional hospital delivery to the early labor at her parents' house, the event was captured in a 4-part YouTube video. In a shocking turn of events, Jessa's younger sister Jordan, a memory Jessa characterized as lovely and unforgettable, cut the umbilical cord instead of Ben. She gave birth to her baby a few weeks later under the name Edward Owen Seawald, which had profound spiritual connotations. Her joy-filled Instagram carousel. She described how they experimented with names until one felt perfect. She remains one of the more relatable Duggar sisters because of her candor regarding criticism, labor, and parenthood. Fans were reminded that despite external scrutiny, this family remains grounded and supportive, especially with Michelle by her side providing assistance in the days following delivery. Meanwhile, Jinger Duggar has bravely entered a season of self-discovery and growth in California. In October, she revealed that she was expecting their third child with Jeremy. Furthermore, by January a gender. When she found out it was a boy, the reveal video made her chuckle and burst out laughing. Finnegan Charles was welcomed on March 29th. Jinger shared his story and photo without any delay, but her candor went beyond happiness. She responded directly to supporters in April who questioned why she hides her children's faces online. She answered calmly yet firmly. In addition to discussing postpartum difficulties and the legacy of previous melancholy, she stated, "Privacy and protection matter most." Her candor demonstrated maturity and vulnerability that is greatly appreciated by admirers. Jinger found time to connect despite the hectic schedule of a newborn. She sat together with Jessa and Joy on her podcast to talk about sorrow and miscarriage, tying their tales together in a touching sisterly link. Jinger added fun to the season by jokingly calling herself the favorite auntie after Jana revealed she was pregnant. From publishing people-pleaser to holding her baby, Jinger's year has been characterized by bravery, integrity, and development. Joy Anna feels that the year has been about finding balance and adapting. She and Austin moved their family into an RV last fall after packing up their house in Arkansas, a startling change that she labeled with the simple words, "This picture starts a new adventure." It showed that Joy was open to taking unorthodox routes. That spirit was further emphasized in October, when she turned 27. She packed her 3 children into the car and went alone to Texas while Austin was out hunting. Not a cake, but a candle and a pickle. Traditional Joy. Despite the turmoil, they were resourceful and playful. However, there were other difficulties. She acknowledged that the year hasn't been easy and talked candidly about postpartum difficulties and religious concerns. Her Instagram, however, captured happy occasions. Austin organized a lovely mom's retreat, Gideon's 7th birthday, and Riverside weekends to help her unwind. She most recently shared pictures of her children returning to school, displaying her pride and poignant thoughts. This year, Joy's tale has been more about heart than headlines, about being honest about the highs and lows while creating a family life that is true to her. 2025 started off with 2 blessings for Jed and his wife, Katie. As Jed announced the arrival of twin girls, Elsie Kate and Emma Kate, who were born minutes apart, sunlight streamed into a hospital room on a clear January afternoon. The fact that Jed and Katie had 4 children in barely 4 years of marriage thrilled fans. There was astonishment in their Instagram captions. Jed stated, "Totally won our hearts." And the hushed awe in his voice was nearly audible. Life hasn't slowed down since having twins. Katie showed viewers their blush pink nursery in the weeks that followed, which was stocked with stuffed animals and the soft aroma of baby lotion. The family, however, did not simply hide out at home. After packing up their 4 children, they took a plane to Hawaii. A family was embraced in beach images with newborns nestled against their parents and toddlers with sand-stained faces. Chaos as well as happiness. By spring, their travels brought them to Disney World, where Katie remarked on the wonder of seeing the park through their kids' eyes while Jed wheeled a stroller beneath the castle spires. Jed and Katie had a lengthy laid-back chat with Jinger and Jeremy on their podcast in June. They considered the chaos of raising 4 children in 4 years. In a casual manner, Katie revealed that she had obtained her pilot's license. Her words were, "We're choosing to slow down. She smiled as she acknowledged that they still plan to have a family of 5 or 6 in the future. Just across the Duggar family tree, Jeremiah and Hannah have been penning their own tale of development. It was one of the most down-to-earth glimpses fans have had of the couple. Honest, ambitious, but rooted in gratitude. They made their big news in December. There was a third baby on the way. Fans were informed by their reveal. A small pair of pink booties captured in Hannah's hands. That late spring would bring another young female. The month of February was filled with affection as Belle, their second daughter, celebrated her first birthday. Instagram tributes flooded in, replete with first steps, giggles, and cuddles before bed. It served as a reminder of the rapid growth of this young family. That promise materialized by May 13th. With her little fingers curled into Jeremiah's palm, baby Emery, or Emmy Jane, arrived wrapped in gentle pastels. It was summed up in their caption: "Nothing compares to meeting a new baby and falling in love with them." Even though the Duggar audience was used to hearing about babies, they were still moved by Jeremiah and Hannah's presence because it goes beyond simple announcements. It's about capturing the simplicity and coziness of family life in brief, genuine moments. Jason's year has been about fresh starts and self-discovery, whereas Jeremiah's was about constant joy. He married Maddie Grace in a stunning fall wedding in the Tennessee Highlands in October 2024. The event was small and rustic with before the bands were exchanged, guests performed a heartwarming and poignant rite in which they blessed them. After that, Jason's Instagram was glowing. Married the world's most beautiful girl. However, marriage was only the beginning. Jason crossed another finish line in April 2025. It was a peak of Jason pushing himself both personally and physically, as he literally finished his first half marathon and posted a sweaty but happy selfie with the message, "I'm hooked." In the meantime, Maddie talked about her baptism that month, which was a calm act of trust, something Jason openly and proudly endorsed. The pair publicly discussed their decision to delay parenting, their travel aspirations, and newlywed live in their first YouTube Q&A. Jason even joked about friend-zoning Maddie before deciding she was the one on Jinger and Jeremy's podcast. One of the most refreshing Duggar couples to see is Jason and Maddie because of their honesty, humility, and sense of humor. James, Jim, Bob, and Michelle's 13th child has lived a large portion of his life in the backdrop. However, he entered the spotlight this year in understated yet impactful ways. His appearance on Jinger and Jeremy's podcast in May 2025 stands out as his most memorable occasion. Stories of his early antics, friendship, and even a crazy pyrotechnics experiment that almost went wrong were shared by fans. His humor and candor showed a side of James that was seldom seen. Humorous, introspective, and shockingly candid. His greatest influence, nevertheless, might have been silent. On Christmas Day 2024, James shared a picture of his family. Roundabout. It appeared normal at first until viewers saw Jim Bob standing with Jill and Derek. The uncommon meeting of estranged relatives made tabloid headlines. However, James was the one who subtly helped to make the moment happen by sharing it without saying anything. By doing this, he reminded everyone that the quiet ones can occasionally have a significant impact on the narrative. John David, who nevertheless leads a steady, modest existence, completes the middle brothers. In January, his wife Abby sent a tribute on social media on his birthday, referring to him as her adventurous companion and dearest buddy. They soon took off for Hawaii, where they enjoyed the sunlit beaches and reminded followers of the benefits of being married to a pilot. By spring, Mother's Day and Easter family images depicted a picture of thankfulness and love. There are smiles everywhere as John and Abby interact with their 2 kids. John took a private client to the Cayman Islands in the summer, which led to more travel. Abby is going on an impromptu tropical vacation with him. They are defined by their beat, a combination of travel, family, and aviation interwoven with ease. John's work with the medic, meantime, is still going strong in a subtle way. His piloting abilities continue to be vital in crisis response, from hurricane recovery to flood assistance in Texas. Although he doesn't post frequently, when you do see him, you see a man who is consistent and committed to his family, faith, and service. Fans are beginning to see that Japón has subtly entered adulthood during the past year. In October 2024, he served as a groomsman at his brother Jason's wedding, marking his first significant event. Wedding in Tennessee. It was the first time that many spectators really understood how much older the once young Duggar had grown. A few weeks later, Jackson created a stir by starting his own Instagram account. His initial post about his cowboy hat caused a stir. Was this merely a discussion of adulthood, or the beginning of a courting a la Duggar? He never verified stories, but his feed quickly revealed another aspect: adventure and travel. He shared a video of himself flying over cliffs and waves in a helicopter above Kauai in April. By July, a family carousel revealed his tender side. Appreciating these kinds of days, Jackson demonstrates moments of independence, while maintaining a strong familial bond in each post. Over the past year, Jana, who is now 19 years old, has taken on more prominent roles. She stood beside her younger sisters, Jennifer, Jordan, and Josie, as a bridesmaid during Jason's wedding in October 2024. She then made an appearance in a rare and widely shared video in December. For the holidays, the 9 Duggar sisters gathered with their mother, Michelle, and grinned together. The fan-sparked moment. Excitement, Johanna's mature appearance, how much she resembles her older sisters, and how uncommon it is to witness the entire sibling lineup. Despite not being in charge of her own social media, Johanna's participation in these milestones shows that she is emerging from the shadows and becoming an adult. When Jennifer turned 18 in August 2025, she achieved a significant milestone. She is still one of the more reserved siblings, but her entry into maturity is a significant milestone. Additionally, she participated in both Jana's and Jason's weddings as a bridesmaid with her sisters. Seen in photos from Jana's wedding in 2024. Later, Joanna shared a video of the 9 Duggar sisters, with Jennifer positioned between Jordan and Josie. These peaks serve as a reminder to followers that Jennifer is maturing from a child into a young adult. Jordan Grace had one of the year's most unexpected Duggar moments at the age of 16. Jordan took up after Ben became uncomfortable with severing the umbilical cord during Jess's July 2025 birth vlog. She cut the cord herself, a milestone that represented her maturing as a person. With calm hands and nervous eagerness, Jordan, who smiled with calm assurance among her sisters, was a bridesmaid in both Jana's and Jason's weddings. Even though she is still a teenager, her participation in family events indicates that adulthood is approaching. In December 2024, the family's infant reached 15, a milestone that left long-standing fans speechless. Josie, who was once a frail infant struggling to survive, is now a tall adolescent, able to compete with her sisters. She made an appearance in Joanna's Instagram reel, which included the reunion of all 9 Duggar sisters, just a few days after her birthday. Josie reminded everyone of her progress as she stood boldly in the lineup. Even though she doesn't yet have her own platform, her few appearances seem meaningful, demonstrating that the youngest Duggar is confidently entering adolescence. One of the most private siblings is still Joseph. Many brothers and sisters use the internet to inform their followers, but Kendra and Joseph have decided to keep quiet. However, it was revealed in July 2025 that the couple now had a minimum of 4 children. Just the wording conveys how meticulously they guard their personal lives. Although their little Duggar family account hasn't had a direct update since 2021, Jinger subtly brought it up in a summer post to remind supporters that Joseph is still a part of the family, even if his tale doesn't happen on screen. Joseph's life has become a mystery to viewers of Duggar. Commonplace, unseen, but still developing in secret. Josiah and his spouse Lauren have followed suit, posting infrequently but occasionally appearing in family-related content. Astute viewers saw Lauren and Ginger's baby gender reveal video at the beginning of 2025. Rumors of another pregnancy were sparked by her appearance. Rumors of a baby belly had already been stoked by a Vulu vlog a few weeks prior. However, the couple remained mute and did not confirm or deny. They were spotted later in the year on a shopping excursion over the weekend of a family wedding, looking older, more composed and very private. Only their daughter, Bella, is mentioned on their official family page, which is stuck in the past. Every uncommon sighting seems like a standalone event. Justin, who is young and married to Claire, has likewise decided to live quietly. They last posted anything personal around Christmas 2023, but in 2024 they were included in Jana and Jason's family wedding pictures. Hillary Spivey, Claire's mother, more recently shared images of herself and Claire with Justin in early 2025, displaying affectionate grins and intimacy with James Duggar. Even still, there has been no announcement of a baby, which is unusual in a family that is known for its frequent pregnancies. Rather, Justin and Claire appear happy to follow their own more subdued rhythm and live their lives away from the limelight. Josh Duggar's shadow still looms, even if the majority of the Duggar family's updates this year have focused on weddings, births, and other milestones. Almost 4 years after he was found guilty of obtaining and retaining evidence of child sexual assault, instead of Instagram posts or family vlogs, his story is still restricted to courtroom files and legal documents. Josh wrote a handwritten plea from his cell at FCI Seagullville in May 2025, requesting that the court assign him a counsel because he was unable to pay for one himself. He maintained that he wanted to make fresh constitutional arguments. Early in June, the judge rejected the motion, stating that his petition was not detailed enough. Josh persisted though. He filed a 50-plus page motion on his own by the end of July, claiming an unfair trial. Activities, claiming that he had been prevented from putting out a different perpetrator explanation, and accusing government experts of falsifying evidence. Although these sensational allegations have not yet gained traction, they demonstrate his resolve to continue battling from behind bars. Jana, his wife, has mostly kept quiet in the interim. She used to be quite active on social media, but she has essentially vanished. She never posts her own updates and her siblings hardly ever mention her. Regarding her life, fans conjecture constantly whether she still resides close to the family compound, but it's unclear if she intends to support Josh until his release in 2032. In a family that is so prominent online, her absence is startling. It's a sharp contrast. Josh's world is characterized by legal motions, while Jana's is characterized by silence, while siblings publicly commemorate significant events. When taken as a whole, they symbolize the most polarizing element in the Duggar story, reminders of loyalty and scandal that continue to split the audience as well as the family. And that's it. A whole year in the Duggars' lives. From the radiance of weddings and the happiness of newborns to the more subdued decisions of people who avoid the limelight, and even the scandals that continue to loom large. Janice is becoming a mommy. Jessa greets her 6th child. California's gender neutrality, Joy's recent travels, Jed and Jeremiah's expanding families, Jason and Maddie's career paths, and the younger siblings' steady transition into maturity. All of this depicts a family that never stops changing. What do you think then? This year, which change caught you off guard the most? Jordan's part in Jess's delivery, Jana's eagerly anticipated pregnancy, or the unspoken secrets of Joseph and Josiah? Tell us in the comments section below. To ensure you never miss an update, remember to hit the like, subscribe, and notification bell buttons. This is The Fame, where you can stay in touch with the most intriguing families on reality TV.